John, tell us about the last drill there. It sounds like that's something y'all do almost every practice, but I guess why do you institute it and what's the benefit there?
You know what? Early in the season, we didn't do it as much. We would just break the kids up, tell them go, make 50 free throws or take 100 free throws, try to make 85. But we trying to incorporate some pressure that, hey, you got fouled on the three-point shot, you got fouled on the two-point shot, Jimmy, you had a dunk. So they all know kind of the reason why they're going to the line. And if they don't make them, we got to run. And the teammates at that point, at the end of a tough practice, don't want to run. So it's an accountability, it's a responsibility. So hopefully we'll get some better carryover on it because whether we shoot a high number of free throws or a low number, the key is shooting a high percentage.
You also had Jimmy is like the last one up kind of thing, or one of the last few up.
Well, yeah, just again, trying to positive thoughts. The drill is not necessarily for them to fail. I'm trying to build confidence, so it's not like a pass-fail class here on campus, right? We want you to pass. We want you to be successful. So trying to, put some positive thoughts, especially in his mind. It's one of the last things I did in practice. I made my free throws, trying to feel good about himself. And now, we go get on the plane and go play a tough game.
Where's the team's confidence level coming off the Tennessee win?
Well, we can't be overly confident. We were down late in that game.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for a pretty strong surge there at the end, we get another L. So it's another game where we left 25 points on the board because of turnovers, poor execution, poor spacing, taking bad shots, on-time, on-target passes. So, again, if we would just do those things like we did at the end of the game when we got scared, it's amazing what happens when this team gets a little scared and have what I call appropriate fear, then they start to play better. So, so the schedule's leveling out now a little bit compared to the first 2 or 3 games we had. So hopefully we'll be able to catch our breath a little bit and continue giving ourselves a chance to win.
How do you define appropriate fear?
I think I'm not big on a kid being scared. I can even understand these are kids if they're a little bit nervous going into a game. But fear is, not boxing a guy out properly, going up to the free throw line with negative thoughts. Fear is when I miss a shot, I drop my head and it's like the whole world is coming to an end and they act like we're not going to feed them their next pregame meal. Or coach might cut me. This is not the NBA. You don't get cut. Okay? So just not having that confidence in appropriate body language when you're about to enter into a task, whatever that may be.
You took some time after the Tennessee game to kind of compliment Dante's play, and just what have you seen from him over his growth over this season, and what do you think he needs to continue to improve on going forward?
Yeah, he's come a long ways. Some of our players have incrementally gotten better, but Dante's come the furthest. I'm thinking back to when he first came on campus in June, and he came in, he came in and we knew as a staff that he had to gain some weight. But it seemed like when he first came in, we were working him so hard, he dropped 5 more pounds, and we were trying to add 20. So he was just a little wet vegetable when he came in. He couldn't do much of anything. Jimmy was overpowering him every day in practice. Everybody was blocking his shots. He couldn't get up and down the floor. So, man, he runs like a gazelle now, and he blocks shots. He comes out of nowhere. He's having a lot of fun. He actually knows the plays now. It's taken this long for him to get to know the plays a little bit better. So it's just maturity, man. And he's a kid that people root for. He ignites our fans. He had a couple of incredible blocks in our last game, and our student section was just going crazy. So we really like his growth. In a perfect world, had we been here 3, 4, 5 years and we had like a perennial NCAA tournament team, he probably would have been a primetime candidate to redshirt, but we're not on that level yet. He's got to play, and his minutes are important.
But Justin Coleman, he was in a boot. Is that
Yeah,
common?
Justin has been having some issues with a little bit of a turf toe, and aggravated it a little bit right before the last game, and re-aggravated a little bit, but expect him to play. Okay, this was more of a precautionary day for him. So expect him to play on tomorrow. He probably won't participate much in shoot around, maybe shoot a few free throws, but he should be ready. I'm not even saying he's a game time decision, just expect him to play.
You're right at the midpoint of the conference slate. I mean, you're at, I think, the 8th game. What do you take from the first half of SEC play that you can maybe build upon going down the stretch?
Can I use this? If I had a marker, I would write on this, and it would be about 10 different things, but I'll give you a few of the top ones. Number one, we're a much better team when we're not turning the ball over. Our assist-to-turnover ratio needs to significantly improve, and it can. We have to take care of the ball. We have to do a better job of rebounding. A good indicator for you guys against South Carolina, I think in their last 2 wins, they had 18 offensive rebounds. 18 offensive rebounds. And their last loss maybe was around 10. And you can check the numbers. But we have to rebound. And what I'm saying is not just the pretty rebounds, the dirty ones, the ones outside of your area, the long ones, So those 2 things we have to improve in. Execution on offense. They jumped into a little bit of a zone in the last game, and we act like we'd never seen a zone before. But then when we got a little concerned, then boy, we executed our zone offense perfectly, got 2 great shots, and the rest is history. But I'm trying to get our players, and I know they're young, to just try to do the same thing great multiple times. Maybe I'm asking for too much. Am I asking for too much?
I don't think so. And you have to guard a little bit against fool's goal from that first game against South Carolina, where you say, "Oh, that was easy. We shot the ball." They're still pretty good.
They are really good. You're right about that. And you go into their gym, it's a game. Lawson got in, made a 3, so they're going to have a lot of motivation. And I love for Riley to continue to hit 8 3-pointers a game for the rest of the year. Probably not going to happen. We need other guys to participate. So you're right, and that's why when we looked at video today, that's one of the things that I talked about. We're not that good. To underestimate a team. We're not that good that we're walking into this game thinking we're a favorite. We're always the underdog. Now, maybe next year or the year after, guys, that'll be an old excuse, and you guys can talk about me on social media. But this year is the truth, all right? We're never a favorite.
How do you deal with get the point across to these guys? I mean, you mentioned earlier this year multiple times that, you've been on the road in NBA environments where, these environments you're kind of used to. How do you kind of get these guys to maybe settle down or have their expectations at a level that's actually going to...
It really is not their problem. It's mine. I have to do a better job with my timeouts, okay? I got to do a better job of, using some timeouts earlier, teach a little bit better doing those timeouts, make sure I'm in the huddle early, make sure that I'm crystal clear on what we need to do. I got to do a better job of settling them now. They're young people. I'm the coach. I'm the one that has the greatest responsibility of anybody on our team. So I got to do a better job of that. I've been in those situations, so I got to do a better job of coaching them up in those situations. And it's not easy. Winning on the road is tough, guys. I mean, look at what's happening over the whole landscape of NCAA college basketball. Look at it. Winning on the road is not easy, and especially for a team that just basically was thrown together this year. We're not the heavyweight champs of the world. We have to play right. But during those situations, I've gone back and not only do I evaluate the players, I evaluate myself in terms of the craft of coaching. How did I manage a situation? Was I clear? Was one of the boys confused, the young men confused when I drew up a play? So there are a lot of moving parts. And that's why I came back to coaching. I love it.
Is there a difference between NBA level of that and at the college level that you're maybe kind of adjusting?
Not really. No, everybody needs to be coached. The only difference sometimes is on your better teams in the league, they have generals on the floor. You know? So here in this situation, I have to be the general on and off the floor until we grow some people. And maybe that's Dejon in the future. You know, Retton does a pretty good job of it right now, but for the most part, he didn't even plan on playing a lot of point guard this year, right? Our deal was move you off the ball. Let's let Dejon and J. Cole handle most of the ball handling responsibilities. You'll be more of a combo guard. But, you know, so Retton has done a pretty good job of trying to take on some more of those leadership responsibilities on the court. And boy, he's flourished in that role.
Kind of one more question. Talking about Retton, I think after last game you talked about how, you know, this team relies on Retton a lot. I mean, you kind of depend. How much is that to put on one guy's shoulder to be the point guard, to be possibly a leading scorer, to help in the rebounds? And, I mean, that's.
We don't have any other choice. Look down our bench. There's not a whole lot of options, and players with experience. So he's got to do it, and he embraces that responsibility. There's no surrender. Look at the kid. We ask him to guard the best players. We ask him to drive the ball. We ask him to take and make threes. We ask him to make on-time, on-target passes, make your free throws. But it's a great life lesson, you know. And now Arthur's starting to mature more and embrace a lot more of that responsibility. So is Riley, you know. We've been a little bit of a different team since Riley's been inserted in the lineup. Not that we've won every game, obviously, but we've been a little bit of a different team. Riley gives us another added, you know, attitude and aggressiveness and physicality that we desperately needed. Okay? All right, guys. Okay.